Well, hello everybody. We're going to print out ourselves a name tag today. Let's use AutoDesk 3D Max. And we'll create a new empty scene. So at the moment we have our grid here and our system unit set up to millimeters. For now that'll be okay. In general, I usually I'll set mine into meters, but we'll just have to do some calculation in the end, more than likely. The import-export. So here we have our grid. And to start our name tag, let's start in the center. And let's just create a simple box. Let's see what we have here is just generally a very high number, so we'll make sure that our units are all okay. That's how we have millimeter, and then we'll set our... So here's the problem. So notice how we went down quite a bit. Now here's our box. We'll select it and get some option. Okay, now 5 millimeters is pretty short. So what we should do here is make it, well, let's say 10 millimeters. That's going to be our length. 10. Notice how in 3D Max we're here at the front. So if this is our length, make it a little bit wider. And what we'll do here is we'll turn on our snap toggle. So when we turn it, it works in easy degrees rather than, let's say, if we did it this way. So you get just a funny number, and there's never really a, you'll never really land on 90 exact. I did it. Well, what do you know? But it's generally a pain in the butt, so your mouse, unless it's a laser, see how in general, just turn the snap feature, never have a problem. So now that we have our alignment okay, 20 millimeters, still not very long. We'll do about 70. 70 millimeters is going to be still a little small, but practical. It's enough for this exercise. Now with a 35 should be sufficient. And it's positive. I would say we'll start off with a 2.5 millimeter height, maybe 3 millimeters, that works okay. Remembering that this is going to be 3D printed with plastic, we should give it some substance. Alright. So here's generally just the box. We'll use this as a platform, of which we can do double-sided or single-sided. And, you know, at the moment we'll do a single-sided. Now, looking at this here, we have a couple of things we can do. We can round the edges. We can make it circular. What we can also do is we can keep this simple. Maybe we can do a couple of different things here. This would just be maybe basic, and we'll do a little bit more of an advanced tag here on the right. And do a copy. So here's we can have 2 tags. Now maybe we can just start off right ahead and take this one and just do something interesting. So measurements are okay. Now what we'll do is let's just well, what do I want to do, I guess is the question. We'll take the edges. We'll see if we can just do a quick little bevel. Ready. So the key here would be to give it a really good polyline. You know, we want to give it a good polyline, give it a good amount of data for the printer. So instead of keeping it, you know, we have it on 8, let's just say this is one hard angle. I mean, it's not gonna be very pretty. And then we can even come up here with 12, and what we're gonna do, as you'll notice, I'll just give it the whole full beans. So we have a bunch of, but because we're not changing anything, I see. So when we change it, we'll get some more polygons. Let's just get this edges up here so we can see what we're working with. So this is pretty genuinely flat, but what we can do now is something very interesting. We just take this whole polygon and bring it down. You know, and that's going to do is give us a nice embossed look. But what we should really want to do here is now really mess things up, and maybe we can do something interesting. So yeah, I'm thinking of going around the corners here, grabbing these lines and thinking maybe I can get another bevel. This time, just a couple. And see how weird that is. It's really going to challenge the printer, for sure. Give it some more data here. Just general smooth. Now what we have is this really funky looking thing. And that works for me. So, here we have just a box. And turn on off these faces and the grid. But generally it looks pretty good. Now 3D Land we can do something interesting and just, you know, give them proper shading, but it's more of an aesthetic. Compare this. Well, there we have our base. Now what we want to probably do here is, before we get too far, we need to make a hole, obviously, for our key tag. So best and easiest way is we'll just create, we can try a couple of things, but a single hole, we can always do, I always do even numbers, 32, we'll do a single height segment, so it's really just a box. Okay. So here's one, and then what we'll do is we'll turn it back on. Now, what we're going to have to do is take this guy, convert him, so we can manipulate his polygons. Delete it. We'll delete it. Now we'll go to the top. That's what we want. Is to take half. So we'll take this half here. And we'll stretch him. Not 100% work if this particular one's going to work, but this is going to be the best looking version. I don't think we went far enough. So we're going to zoom it. We're going to make it a lot smaller. Alright. And here's where we really find out what's going to happen. Let's get the border. Now, is it even going to select it? Oh, it did. So when you border something, you can cap it. And that worked out pretty well. Do another border. We'll cap it. And now it's a full 3D object. Well, that makes sense to put it on that side, so we'll just zoom it down, grid it out. Bang, 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 bang. Now it's probably going to be a little bit big. Quick align, love that. Alright, now we'll go to the top. Just poking out the bottom. And since we need it, we do need it to come out both sides, so we're going to have to make them bigger. A little bolder. Let's stretch you. Oh, I see. Professional work this is. Up to the top. As you can see, it's pretty much, but we kind of messed things up. I don't want to align it now. So for the most part, we can just get our best guess. There it is. Just in case something awry, we'll take a copy of our nub. This is what's going to happen. We're going to take our piece, and then we're going to basically create another piece here. And a lot of guys do it a different couple of ways. I like to use the Pro Boolean. And basically we're going to subtract that nub here. We're gonna see if we get a nice cut. Never know. Probably not. There it is. That worked out better than I expected. Circles are always the worst. You never know if it's gonna hit or miss. So I'm not going to bother building that at the moment. But since we have this, we can just bring him over here and cut that up. There's really nothing advanced going on here, so let's take this one. And we'll just do a regular building this time. No. It didn't work out very well. I see. It wasn't high enough. We didn't have it poking out far enough. So there needs to be some on both sides. We'll try it again. Oh, no we won't. Go to this guy, make sure we don't already have one. Old box. Convert it to a poly, we'll do the same. Don't usually have any issues with the booleans, but every now and again. So like I did last time, just a regular boolean. And there it is. So here we have looking like a credit card looking thing. It's pretty basic at the moment. And then we can do something cool at the top. We always have interesting stuff here. What am I looking for? Text. And we'll just write something interesting. Something like property of, and that'll be our first one. Aerial. Not exactly the biggest fan of that aerial, but now we have it really large. About 15 millimeters seems to work for me. Do a quick align, get it to the center. That so we can pull it up a little bit. Well, not that way up. This way up. That's what we really want to do here. 15 millimeters seems so small. So now we have 10 millimeters, and we all know how big that is. It's not big at all. Well, we'll just go with it. And while we're at it, we should change this because I really don't like. Well, these are up and down to change. I'm not a fan of aerial. More of an old school traditionalist. How about it's coming? Tell. Remember, it's got to be 3D printed, so everything's not just because it may look good. Like this one. There'd be no way you could, I'm sure there'd be a way you could get that to print, but we're not going to make this a super advanced course for now, just a quickie. Today's kids don't do right cursive, so. Geez, I think I'm. See, this one looks okay to me. We'll do that. Property of. I'm sure I didn't. That doesn't look right in English to me. Anyways, that's what we're gonna do now. I've been waiting for this whole time. I'll just extrude it a little bit. Well, now, as long as we don't break it, so do a wireframe because clearly we seem to be having issues. We can do a 1.5 or a 1. That looks good to me, because that seems like it'll be a good 10 layers or so. A couple of good segments. And we'll cap the start. No, we will cap the end. So we're just kind of hanging there in space. And what we'll do now, bring it to the top, bring it down. Now we need it just to merge. So we're going to turn back on edge faces. So when the G code comes off of this, it's just going to be look out for our lines, and so I'm just going to click something else here. I'm going to go up and down. We'll see if one disappears, and we'll just get it to merge. Just like that. We'll compare it to a poly before we get done with it. Do the shading, make it look okay. It's not a smooth. Alright. Let's turn off the edge faces. Now it's starting to look kind of good. Got a couple of lines. You know, we'll just have to create another text. Good thing it saves, because, you know. Now, we'll do, oh, just some interesting name about, well, 3D. There we go. Okay. We don't have to do a whole lot with that. What's going on with my mouse here? Give that a good extrusion. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, looking good. Now, why don't we just align it to our other text? And bring that down. You can get a phone number, a website, or an email address in there. Pretty cool. Alright. Poly. Select them all. We'll get it on smooth. That actually looks pretty good. Now for me, I'm just gonna bring these both down. We'll keep it centered. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. Whichever way you like. Spread them out, put it on top. Now for the sake of just, because I want to make things simple, I'm going to take all my text and we're going to attach it to our other text, making it one single object. So if we were to, we have, you know, and we can take that, just bring it over here. All in all, there we have on the fly, name tag. No, of course I can't. I'm not sure what I'm thinking. So what we'll do is we'll take our guy and export it. This is the key magic of 3D Max. Well, stop messing with me here. I'll just export it to the desktop as long as it lets me. Not sure what's going on. So we have our stereolithographic export. We'll do a name tag. This will be come out with the individual objects, and we'll do tag 1. And I'll print this in this case, we'll print it all out at the same object. So let's get out of here. Let's see if we can just bring it right in. And there we go. Right away. I'm sure you can bring it to your ideal liking. But what we'll try to do is get this printed out in the next series here, where I can show you all the setup of the printer and set the camera up for the printer and everything. But at the moment, into MakerBot, ready to go. We don't have to use custom profile. I guess we can use the standard profile. On something like this, I would definitely advise 100%, but of course I'll go through this more in detail. On the printing part 2. Anyway, thank you for watching. Well, until next time.